warm welcome to all of you. We are honored to be joined by you this morning. This is our head office, central office for you this morning. This is our head office, central office for will at a later stage be introduced, and we also have our department, like I've said, as well as this morning, the chairperson for our head office, central office for council, a representative in our midst. But more than that, we also have our sister at a later stage being introduced institution, and we also have our acting CEO is here, Mr. Professor. We are quite happy to it is a privilege to host this important event that represents not only a formalization of partnership, but a bold step forward for artisan development and skills advancement in the mining sector. Just to remind all of us that 2 years ago, when this project, the Center of Specialization project led by the department, in the likes of Mr. Bukelezi, who we also welcome, was closing up in terms of as a pilot. At MQA, we then decided to say we are going now to do a sectoral launch of this project for the mining sector, and this is how now we are taking it forward. So it is indeed a privilege for me to say we have been working hard behind the scenes to ensure that we are here today. So let me also just acknowledge Mr. Motelis, like I said, is the Chief Director for Center of Specialization and probably other responsibilities that he carries. These are the colleagues that we worked for a number of years with, and I'm excited because he's got experience from Versita too. He was working at Versita, so this is the impact that Versita is also doing in the space. I'm not sure whether Mr. Ubali is here already. He did indicate that he will be present, although he's on his way to, it's not here, on his way to Cape Town. DG has actually delegated all of them. The DGs, Zungu, as well as Zimbabwe, apologize. I must also, DG, render the apology of the leader in the Minerals Council, Mr. Kali, who was actually aiming to be here this morning, but there was an urgent event at Minerals Council, and as such, he's not available. And let me also welcome everyone else, the colleagues here at MQA and all other guests, the colleagues from the department, most of them as I see them, we know each other, these are my colleagues. Today marks the culmination of the vision shared among committed stakeholders to uplift technical, vocational, and training in South Africa. This initiative to transform Waterberg TVET College, the Waterberg campus, into a center of specialization for diesel mechanic and auto electrician trade. It's a kind of impactful, responsive collaboration that we at the MQA are proud to be part of. To transform Waterberg TVET College, the Waterberg campus, into a center of specialization for diesel mechanic and auto electrician trade. It's a kind of impactful, responsive collaboration that we at the MQA are proud to be part of. To transform Waterberg TVET College, the Waterberg campus, into a center of specialization for diesel mechanic and auto electrician trade. It's a kind of impactful, responsive collaboration that we at the MQA are proud to be part of. To transform Waterberg TVET College, the Waterberg campus, into a center of specialization for We are fully active also in other spaces in the mining space to ensure that we understand the needs in this sector. So we are happy today, and as such, as the MQA, our mandate is to ensure that the skills development in the mining and mineral sector is both relevant and responsive to industry needs. So through this MOU, we reaffirm our commitment to investing in artisan development, particularly where it can directly impact employment and empowerment and economic growth. We are particularly pleased that this initiative will support and align with the goals of the 2025-26 Artisan Development Project, which is reinforcing the importance of sustainable funding and strategic investment in our youth. Like I've earlier indicated in our briefing session, DG Mekiron Maila here, our executive manager and program for the day, is the executive manager responsible for not only core programs in the mining space, but to ensure that we are forever connected with our stakeholders in the communities, as well as particularly in the mining space. Now we have a range of stakeholders. Now part of those stakeholder grouping is our mine, the communities are around the mines. And we are now plowing back through skills development interventions. Now these are interventions that are not necessarily going to be supporting the mine, but rather to say, once the lifespan of a mine comes to an end, what does the community do? So we provide the much needed skills interventions and training interventions of the choice of those communities, so as they are able then to sustain their livelihood. So this is exactly what you have pointing out to say we should not forget the masses. So we are aware of that, and we have also engaged with the councils, particularly in the Beggarsford and elsewhere at provincial level, to ensure that there's common understanding of how we take advantage of the monies that are flowing through the social labor plans from the mines, to say these are not just monies to be spent on a project. We say, how do we link up with those interventions as we provide skill development and training opportunities? So we are alive and aware to all of that. We understand our mandate that we now need to develop, like you have seen our video clip. These are university students, TVET students, but we go down to the masses, and we also say we have adult beneficiaries. Some of our video clips that have been seen by Datem Valo during our AGM, the pensioners, the people in the spaces who are excited for the opportunities that we are providing for them to sustain themselves. So that being said, I wish everybody well, and as we sign this MOU today, let's do so consciously, understanding that there's a lot of work lying ahead of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you to the CEO. I avoid pulpits. I don't want to be a pastor. Thank you to the Chief Executive Officer of the MQA, Dr. Thabo Mashongwane. Colleagues, as per norm in the organization and maybe even in the sector in general, we are going to observe a moment of silence in remembrance of the fatalities and injuries that were experienced in the mines in the past few days. So I'm going to ask Mr. Nabile Kaba to come and provide us with the latest statistics of the fatalities and injuries in the sector, and then we can observe a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Program Director. Good morning, everyone. Again, we acknowledge you, sir, Dr. Sishi, and all protocols observed. Colleagues will receive stats on a weekly basis from the DMRE, and it is unfortunately that in terms of our fatalities have increased. We are sitting at 17 if we compare that to last year. Last year during this time we reported 11 fatalities, and accidents that have happened last year there were 11, and then for this week they've increased to 13. And in terms of injuries, they've decreased to 499. Last year they reported 640. And the contributors for those fatalities is the fall of ground, transportation, mining, and general. And the reported fatalities, they're coming from the 4 provinces. We reported 1 for Northern Cape, Free State is 3, and Gauteng is 8, Northwest, we reported 5. And then the commodities, in terms of where the fatalities have happened, for gold industry it's 11, platinum 4, and other is 2. And we also have stats in terms of women in mining. In terms of fatalities, only 1 fatality has been reported, and 56 injuries reported in the mining, in women in mining. On that note, colleagues, can I request that we stand so that we can observe a moment of silence for all those who have perished in our sector, the mining and mineral sector. Thank you. Thank you so much, colleagues. May the soul rest in peace.
Thank you, Mr. So. Mr. So is the acting chief risk in the MQA. But I'm going to take a moment and just ask Josh to play a video just to demonstrate some of the work that we do within the MQA. And it will just give you an idea of the kind of projects or programs that you are busy with, the amount of impact, if you can read it from there, that we try and bring to our local communities, as well as the relevant stakeholders in the MNS sector. Thank you, Josh. Go ahead.
I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude for allowing me the time to reflect on the MQA successes in the past 2 years. I take pride as the CEO in leading an organization that I have observed growing from strength to strength. This audiovisual will speak for itself. However, I would like to highlight that the MQA continues to be a well-run organization, having achieved 3 clean audit opinions from the Auditor General of South Africa in the last 3 years. This is no small feat and represents the efforts made by the organization, supported by the MQA board, to adhere to the good governance principles and with sufficient checks and balances that ensure many successes that we have achieved in the last 3 years. Additionally, after having achieved the highest performance of 97% in the previous financial year, the MQA achieved 100% performance for the very first time in the 2023-2024 financial year. And this is a reflection of the hard-working and smart-working people that are part of the MQA. We kicked off the 2024-2025 financial year with the Inter-SETA Skills Summit. That was a partnership between SETAs, an event that showcased SETA's efforts. We cannot operate as island, but together we can achieve so much more. We hosted an inaugural Mining Skills Lekgotla at the end of 2023. This was a highlight in the history of the MQA, and we continue to work on best practice that was presented at this event. We have seen the launch of the Green Hydrogen Economy project in partnership with Chemical SETA as well as Transport SETA, a very important project that presents an alternative that reduces emissions and cares for our planet. The decarbonization of the planet is among the objectives that countries around the world have set for 2050. We want to be part of the change and contribute positively to our environment in our lifetime for the future of our children. We hosted inaugural research colloquium that has allowed us to engage with institutions of higher learning and research experts to identify research topics pertinent in the sector. We acknowledge successes in the International Literacy Day event that we hosted annually for the adult education and training learners and facilitators, and pride ourselves to having increased literacy in our sector, with our motto being, "It is never too late to learn." We have launched the new MQA corporate identity following the establishment of the new MQA constitution that ensured inclusiveness of our stakeholders. This has positioned the MQA brand positively in the minds of our stakeholders. This is an ongoing campaign of establishing an MQA that is current and is in line with the future technological developments and innovation. We have made extra efforts to celebrate our staff that make the organization tick and have hosted learning forums to benchmark the work that we do as well as educate our staff. We shared lighter moments celebrating Heritage Day, focusing on the diversity that we have as MQA. We have found that the MQA is home to many cultures and is diverse in the people that represent it. We continue to reach the length and breadth of our country, engaging with institutions of higher learning who play a valuable role in delivery of quality skills for the sector. We have also engaged with learners, giving them a head start through the distribution of our startup kits that equip them with tools to hit the ground by establishing small businesses and begin to offer their services in the communities and become productive so that they are not trained for the world of unemployment. We have made efforts to be more visible to our learners and stakeholders and streamlined our processes to make engagements with MQA and participate in programs more accessible in communities that need it most through mine community and youth development. We celebrate young people annually who graduate that ordinarily would never receive the chance through our bursary programs. Valued stakeholders, these are some of our many successes. I thank you for participating in the MQA because without you, we cannot be the excellent organization that we pride ourselves to be. We live by our values of accountability, continuous learning, integrity, respect, service, excellence, stakeholder orientation, and value for money. We are committed to mining future skills amongst stakeholders in the mining and mineral sector.
This was amazing.
This is what I got from MQA. Thank you so much.
We thank you so much, MQA. We really appreciate what you have done for us. Thank you.
I've been happy with the support I got from the MQA.
When I'm comparing it to the previous years, this was definitely tops.
Thank you, MQA.
And I must congratulate you guys. This was the best session ever.
I say to MQA, thanks very much. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, MQA.
And I must admit, every year you guys have been upping your game, trying to improve, making it easy.
I've always just experienced the best from the MQA in general.
I would like to express my gratitude to them.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, MQA. If it was not MTA, hey, can you go straight?
I've always just experienced the best from the MQA in general.
I would like to express
So the DG has seen that there is work being done. Thank you so much. And I think the video encompasses almost all the work of the MQ, from the core business also to the mine communities, short skills program for people that live in mining communities, and for the retreatees, for the ex-mine workers. So we give them a second chance to ensure that at least poverty and is alleviated and illiteracy in some cases. But thank you so much, Josh, for that. We will move quickly into the next item, which is introduction of delegates, but I think the CEO has touched on that. But I'm going to ask Mr. X. Sorry, I caught you off guard there. I'm going to ask Mr. Kolisa Chigelana, who's the COO, to do the honors of introducing the guests. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Program Director, and good morning, colleagues. Good morning, DG. All protocol is observed, colleagues. She's right to say, caught me off guard. You know, it just reminds me of the people who are asked to speak at a funeral, and they are told in the morning, and they agree graciously, and then they don't complain. But when they go on the program, on the podium, they greet people and say, I was only told this morning, I was ambushed. Now I'm saying, why did the guy agree? So, but without wasting time, I think it's not a lot of us in the room. I think we can allow people to introduce themselves quickly so that we know who's in the room. And I think let me just let the mic here. Starting with myself, Kolisa Njikelana, the Chief Operating Officer at the MQA.
Good morning, I'm Naftali Mokhatsane, Acting Chief Executive Officer of MESITA. Thank you.
Good morning, Thabo Mashongwane, CEO for MQA.
Good morning, Ukholisen Senior, Mineral Council South Africa.
Good morning, Thobela Nogcina, Executive Manager in the Office of the CEO at MQA.
Good morning, Mafako Pasha, ASD, Marketing and Communications, Waterberg TVET College.
Good morning, my name is Nombule Lokota, Social Media Communication Officer at Department of Higher Education and Training.
Morning, my name is Angwani Lijade, Senior Strategic Planning Manager at MQA. Thank you. Good morning, colleagues. My name is Rida Mishime. I'm the Senior Manager Learning Programs Operations Unit at MQA. Thank you.
Good morning, colleagues. I'm Hello Pohojani from the Learning Programs Unit at the MQA, responsible for artisan development. Thank you.
Morning, colleagues. I'm Sabelo Mutilezi. I'm the Chief Director at the DHT TVET branch. I will intentionally pass the mic from the DG.
Good morning, I'm Khomozo Dipela, the Principal for Waterberg TVET College. Thank you.
Good morning, I am Khomozo Hine from the DHET, Chief Director at Special Projects Unit. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Nisedam Khomozo. I'm Eric Mushapamasi, ASD Curriculum Development Implementation, dealing with professional programs at Waterberg TVET College. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Leshata Malaji, the Campus Manager, Leboakomu
campus Waterberg TVET College.
Good morning, colleagues. I'm Kopano Sibudu. I'm the acting CFO for the MQA.
Morning again, colleagues. My name is Sonobile Kaba, acting Chief Risk Officer at MQA.
Good morning, colleagues. Zulu Sandile, Department of Education and Training, DG's office.
Good morning, colleagues. My name is Monica Profa. I'm the executive assistant of the CEO office. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That's a nice strategy, Mr. X. If you don't remember people's names, or if you're afraid of this pronouncing people's names, that's what you do. Yeah, I'm also not very good with names. It takes a bit of time. I know that if ever I was married and I grew old with a person much older than this person I'm married to, I'll probably just use pet names forever, for in case I forget their name. It's safer. So thank you, Mr. X, for that. We all know who's here. We will get a proper introduction of the Director General at a later stage. The next item on the agenda or the program is to get a purpose and background of the collaboration. And this address is going to be given to us by a gentleman from the Mineral Council of South Africa. And I'm mentioning Motswana because I'm also Motswana, so he's my brother. So he's also a senior policy analyst from Minkosa as well, and we know he's the outgoing board member of the MQA. Then he can say everything else on his profile. Thank you.
Need to be declared competent. In the artisan space, we declare people competent. Morning, DG, morning, everyone, all protocols observed. Colleagues, my duty is simple. My duty is to take you through the shortest journey traveled by the people who conceptualized this. I just want to apologize on behalf of ARM. ARM was supposed to be here. They have some internal issues that they need to resolve, and they will join us once those issues have been resolved. It is not that they have abandoned us. They are engaging internally, and their engagement processes are much longer than anticipated, hence they apologized. Colleagues, this brainchild came from ARM when they approached Waterberg. The sole purpose was the center of specialization. ARM being a member that Dr. Mashongwane of Mineral Council, they felt comfortable that their brother must lead the discussion in terms of engaging. Hence, the Mineral Council was involved. We had a lot of engagement, lot of front-end loading work was done, and Tate Poloko and the team of Waterberg, they know his tone in meetings, how rigid and how delivery he is, and that is how we have marshaled thus far. This session today is just to quantify all those initiatives and make sure that we articulate the reason for the Memorandum of Understanding. DG, the strategy is simple. The strategy is we cannot fold our arms on this marvelous concept of specialization where the head is driving artisanship. I was addressing the TVET College gathering somewhere in Pretoria when I told them that the mining industry is holding the prototype or the blue chip of what the definition of artisan is in the industry. Two, I told the TVET colleges that being an artisan myself, graduating from all facets, I was so fortunate that I went to 3 TVET colleges just to complete N4, N5, N6. That's how diverse I am in terms of believing in TVET colleges. So it's important that we should understand the meaning of what we are doing. To answer your question, DG, do we have the end in mind? Stephen R. Covey in his book is saying that for every effort that needs to happen, you need to have an end in mind. And I think that is what we did when we were engaging behind the curtains. Two, we have identified people who will be our definition of Big 3 in implementation. We are not in research, we are not universities, we are executing. We are in the mining industry. The mining industry is different. We look at the thing, we put corrective measures, and we implement. That is the concept that Ntate have picked up with regard to our engagement. And we are saying to you, the stakeholders that are married to this concept, our sitters, the Mersita being part of us here, they know that artisans is them, it's Shieta, it's MQA, it's construction sitter. I look them straight in the eyes when they do reporting on artisans, because these are the bulk sitters that need to, at all costs, understand the dynamics and the challenges that are enshrined on the artisan concept. And hence, Mersita is here, and that day we really appreciate your presence. And the D-head, and that Sabelo, DG, I always look at him in the eyes and tell him that you are the custodian of qualification. The industry believe in understanding policies. Tell us your policy. Let us reflect on your policy. Let's map them in our own operation, so that when we become part of them, we benchmark them with our own internal existence. You were talking, DG, that companies have got internal resources, and it's true. Companies have got training centers that they are advancing artisans into. When the concept of center specialization comes, it's a competitive idea that needs to be properly understood. And by rallying the organization behind and making sure that we minimize threats that are in the contour lines of the concept, it becomes much more easy for the industry to buy in. Not only mining industries, there are a lot of sectors that have got active interest in the concept of center specialization. We are piloting it as the industry. Drivers of success to the concept, colleagues, it's easy. We are having institutions. TVET colleges are not like university. I can just assure you that I'm from Northwest on the contour lines of Northern Cape. Northern Cape just recently got university. They call it Solplaiki. I grew up not knowing that there was a university there. That's why I left Northern Cape. But because of bringing education closer to the people, there is one. But there's always been a technical college in Northern Cape. Katu Technical College and Northern Cape Technical College, that have been seen as the beacon of institutions that deliver. So prospects and pocket of excellence in the TVET as an institution have always been at the center of delivery. The only thing that we are doing, we are redefining the curriculum. We are broadening the scope. Waterberg, they are looking at issues that affect the industry. They are looking at issues that are affecting the community. They are looking at the overarching agenda of the DHET as the custodian of qualification, while addressing the interests of all stakeholders. It's a massive initiative. We really need to make sure that we advocate intensively for this to happen. The reason is this, DG. Once we have captured this, once we have engineered out all the teething problem in the concept, the strategy is, we were at Khatsibande in Standard 10 to look at this concept. Groundwork has already been done. The model, once it's adopted, we move to Mpumalanga. There are discussions between the Mineral Council South Africa and the Premier of Mpumalanga about optimization of TVET College as the vehicle of ensuring that skill is properly managed. Those discussions in Mineral Council are at an advanced stage, and this is the platform where we'll just do some transitioning when we have to move to that. Looking into that in the Northern Cape, to answer the question of Dr. Zamani Soul about mining, we have identified as well the Katu colleges in the saturated iron ore and manganese areas to be our third project of interest. Moving from that, we go to orbit in the Northwest. These are mine-saturated areas. The ability to can rally behind employers, it will be much more easier because we are engaging on monthly basis around our employers. DG, the other thing is the customized HRD programs in different provinces. You have been telling us that there is disjointment into how transitioning and synergy must flow. And I'm happy that you have taken note of that, because when we go into, I was in Limpopo, when was it? It was in January when we were in Limpopo, or December last year, where the Premier was articulating the HRD strategy of Limpopo. And all the issues that are there, they are solely resting on TVET colleges as the vehicle of ensuring that whatever that we define as victory, it's embedded in the curriculum. Your Mpumalanga, as well, the Mineral Council had engagement with Mary Fibe to make sure that we understand how we should latch into that. And then the Northwest will come as well. So these are the strategic areas that we can leverage and make sure that in as much as we expand, we are inclusive, we understand through the head of the province what are the critical issues that talk to the critical mass, so that we are not coming with polluted issues that are at a level that does not talk to the mass. That is the strategy, DG, just to give you comfort onto that. And then the decision is why artisan and why Waterberg and why this. It's important, DG, you'll understand that artisanship is an evolving career. I always tell people that if you miss being an artisan in your career, you have missed a qualification that you don't know its worth. Dr. Mashongani, he was an artisan. That's why I talk proud of it, because he understands where I come from in terms of the artisanship. If you look at the Mogalakwena Platinum, the hydrogen pilot truck of that can take the capacity of 210 tons. If that project is a success, it is going to have a ripple effect in the entire high haulage industry in South Africa. And the question is MQA, is DHEAD conversant of that evolution? How do we link our learning material, our qualification, to ensure that the question of just energy transition features in a broader spectrum? The challenge, DG, is companies have got this privilege of doing intensive research around any concept internally. And once they have piloted it, it becomes theirs, at the exclusion of researchers of the universities, at the exclusion of other stakeholders who must contribute from the learning material and qualification point of view. The compatibility between what is here and what the learning material in our institution of higher learning should talk about. That disparity, we should make sure that we cushion that. The second thing is the solar plant at Goldfields. I'm just talking mining related. I'm not talking other things. I'm just aligning you with the solar plant in Goldfields. It talked to the just energy transition. Goldfields is at the commissioning stage of that. How is institutions of higher learning comparing notes with what a project that is in the commissioning stage, and how do we transition to make sure that we augment? Dr. Mashongani talked about the partnership of the hydrogen energy between CETAs. How do we latch into the already researched work of the green energy by companies in exclusion to our institutions of higher learning? Our CSIR become important vehicle of marrying whatever that is critical in this thing. I'm just issuing this thing, DG, to just tell you, the other initiative of artisanship is the Mpumelelo project, the 28-kilometer conveyor belt that is built on the surface from Mpumelelo to transport coal to Synfuels. It takes 2,400 tons of coal per hour. It's an initiative that requires the artisans to come and make sure that all those initiatives are properly harnessed. Taking into account, colleagues, there is this element that we always miss when we talk innovation, when we talk technology, when we talk learning material. The original equipment manufacturers, the OEM are amassing enough information about what is happening, whether it be skill, Dr. Mashongani, whether it be imminent technology in the horizon, whether it be the future of mining, and what technology should be brought into to do all of those things. So those relationships become critically important when we talk a concept of an artisan, and how are we making sure that the future that is there, that we are seeing, how do we retract back, DG, to make sure that what we are doing now is compatible to what the future is projecting to us? Those discussions become very, very much important. In closing, DG, I think we have got the responsibility. And Professor Vela was saying that mining is the most difficult sector. It is not difficult. In mining, we quantify time to productivity. We can tell the milliseconds where it went. Hence, we sometimes ask process questions. We are asking your visibility in engaging the mining industry at the level that you are engaging to market this concept, because in it there are pockets of excellence. One, we have got active sitters that are committing to this whole process. Two, the companies themselves, they are submitting what we call social labor plan. The social labor plan is a legislative document that compels the companies to take care of communities where they are mining. If we integrate those specific elements into this, like at the Waterberg, where the skills program are inclusive, we upload whatever that is agreed into the social labor plan into the TVET colleges. That partnership will clearly make sure that there is coherency, there is a correct utilization of common goal, and we are collectively ensuring that through partnership of TVET, the companies are able to deal with over the fence issues of communities. And we can be rest assured that that strategy might quell, if not at all, redefine the paradigm that is existing of companies are not doing enough, education is not easily accessible. So those comparative analyses are very important, colleagues, and we look forward to Waterberg. We will be honking behind you and making sure that we are engaging, we are liaising with key people who should be instrumental contributors in this. And in my other capacity as an ADAP, DG said it's my responsibility, and I'm not sure whether is that an instruction, DG, but we will liaise, we will engage through BUSA. Mr. Ali is a member of the subset of BUSA in skill. We will be able to can really redefine and unpack what is it that we want to do. And we are confident that with time, we will be able to come and call you, DG, that we are at province number 4, we have replicated the concept, and we intend to make it happen. Thank you.
So I just got a lot better and it distracted me a bit. Thank you so much, Dr. Senior, for those wise words, and also now we get to understand what is the background, how was it conceptualized, where are we going from here. One word that keeps on coming up is collaboration, is TVET colleges as the vehicle for assisting us as partners to the path of greatness. And we can, as the MQ and everyone else, we can define our greatness in different ways. We can either say it's by bringing impact to the poor and also talking critical issues that must address critical masses and also positive change to our country. But Lintula Hoshila Helo Marago, Mr. Honte, Mr. Senior, that's a new name. So we are going to ask the Chief Director, that is Sabelo Buthelezi, just to come up, and he's the Chief Director of Center of Specialization, and he's the one that is going to be leading this pilot project with Waterberg TVET colleges and others, as Mr. Senior has spoken. We'll ask the Chief Director to please come up and do the introduction of the Director General. Thank you.
Thank you, Program Director, and good morning, colleagues, once more. I intentionally passed the mic from the DG so that the name that he will introduce himself with does not contradict the names that his office gave me. So DG, your office gave me your ID. So if I read your ID number, it will be because your office gave me the ID number. Hence, I didn't want you to introduce yourself because we have names and we have names that are in our ID. Program Director, allow me to introduce a man that does not need introduction. But for the sake of the program, I will do the honor to introduce the Director General. Dr. Sbusiso Kosinati Patrick Sishi is the Director General of the Department of Higher Education and Training in South Africa. Is the accounting authority of the National Skills Fund. He has 39 years of experience at different spheres of government and state-owned enterprise, holding various positions in executive and senior management service in the public service. Dr. Seshe holds a master's degree from University of Natal and a doctorate in philosophy specializing in management of education from University of Johannesburg. The critical position held by Dr. Seshe include Superintendent General, Head of Department of KwaZulu-Natal Department of Education, Deputy Director General, Planning, Policy and Strategy, Chief Director, Educational Management, Assessment and Public Examination. Dr. Seshe was the chairperson and a member of various boards, council, and committees of public entities and intergovernmental organizations, such as the Intergovernmental Steering Committee on National Qualification Framework, KwaZulu-Natal Examination Board, Ministerial National Examination Integrity Committee, Umalusi Council, and the Head of Education Departments Committee, the HEDCOM. Dr. Seshe special achievements include Gold Award winner for the best head of the department in 2015, author, Mathematic, published by the HSRC in 2007, author From Apartheid to Democracy, a prescribed history book published in 1997, a level merit awards for excellent leadership program and project management and administration of the national examination system in South Africa. NgesiZulu sithi ibongo zenkosi aziqedwa. Nzimase hlobo, we wait your address.
Ms. Carol Maila, our program director. I will deal with the issue of my names at the right time, when the consequences of this would have to happen. I wish to acknowledge everyone present here today, individually and collectively, also including the organizations that you represent, because I understand that each and every one of you here represent mandates of various components of the subsystems and systems that are the makeup of who we are in the training and development industry. It's truly an honor for me to be here, and I wish to recognize all the board members
of the MQA present and those that are not here, from its chair to its company secretary, and everyone who is part and parcel of the council. May I also recognize the CEO, an inspiration in our sector, Dr. Thabo Mashongwane. I know him when he was very young. I think one of the things that emerged in my CV is that I'm not a young man. And because of it, I know a lot of people, including their parents. I think it's important that I say this because at some point, Thabo was a director in the department responsible for the National Skills Authority and all the work that relates to this industry. So it was actually not a surprise when he articulated into this sector, because he's always been an advocate for change and transformation, driving conversations and policies in this sector. So a very strong pillar of leadership in the post-school education and training system of South Africa. On behalf of the Minister of Higher Education and Training in the Republic of South Africa, Dr. Kabane, I wish to convey our recognition for the good work of this entity, the MQA. And in doing so, may I also take this opportunity to recognize all the executives that you work with, present and those that are not here. Individually, I wish to acknowledge them, acknowledge their work, recognize their contribution, and thank them for their continued leadership in the sector. I wish to also recognize the presence of the acting CEO of Mersita, who's here with us, Mr. Naftali Mukhutsane, who's here with us, and earlier on I had an opportunity to listen to him. When I see the CEOs of our industry, I just feel like strengthened, because I know that our footprint in this industry is touching the lives of the people who matter the most, those who don't sit in the boardrooms, but those who are out there queuing for employment opportunities, and those that are in the villages tilling the land and ensuring that young people of our country, notwithstanding the problems we are confronted with, they will have something to eat by the end of the day. Those in the townships, in women organizations, making sure that the challenges we are confronted with are tackled in this industry, the mining industry. The way it is structured used to take all men from our villages and townships and leave women alone to see how to raise this nation. And I think at some point that conversation needs to emerge. And Dr. Mashongwane, I think you will assist me to frame it properly, so that we are able to deal with the real issues of what is the impact of an absent father and absent leaders of our families. And to me, that's a sacrifice that women of our country have made. But also it is to put it into perspective, the fact that many of us are raised by women. And so all the women that are here today and women in this industry, I salute you. But may I also salute those who have fallen. Earlier on in the program, we had a moment of silence to recognize those who have passed on in this industry, and some of them are women in this industry. And I wish to salute them and their contribution, but also there are families that have sacrificed that they be part of a big process of building this project that Nelson Mandela started, of building a South Africa that is respected the world over. May I also recognize Kolisa Njigelana, the Chief Operations Officer, who has welcomed us and made a few remarks earlier on. May I just highlight and focus on the principal of the Waterberg TVET College, Ms. Khomotso Dipela, because she is the center of all the work that will commence from here going forward. And recognize you, your leadership, and thank you and your staff. And I know that you are with your campus manager here as well, from Libuachov, who's here, and I'm sure there could be other officials that are part of the delegation from the Waterberg TVET College. First, to thank you for the work that you do in that college, in all the campuses, and your support in the policy work that you do. Sabelo Butelezi, our Chief Director for Special Projects Unit, I don't get an opportunity to recognize and appreciate your leadership and contribution in our department. Earlier on, I mentioned something about Adrian Bed, because I wanted to suggest that actually in the center of the national qualifications progress for this country, the project special centers of specialization has always been in the center, because there was always an understanding that in as much as we are driving policy, there will be a need for us to isolate specific areas and highlight them, because they would have been disadvantaged because of the historical evolution of South Africa and other reasons besides those that are political. And so it's always going to be important to get centers of specialization to focus. I used to be something called the head of national exams, and so my task was to set matric exams. So I'll wake up, set a paper, I don't know how many papers, including for the colleges. In doing so, we'll go around the country identifying experts in various areas who are going to set a paper. But notwithstanding that these are experts, if there is anything that's wrong in the paper, we were the ones who needed to be held accountable for the error in a maths paper, for example. And if it's a comma, it's a comma. But the understanding that we are one system, we are a single system of education. Recently, I was saying to the Minister of Sports and Minister of Sports, Gayton Mackenzie, that remember we are part of the Department of Education, because there can be no education without sports and recreation. There can be no education without arts and culture. So all of those are departments of education. Science and innovation, that's a department of education. Basic education, that's education. So we've got multiple layers of delivery of education, but a single system. And that includes training and development institutions. That includes training academies that are set up by employers, that are set up by government, all are part of a single system of education. Today, we have converged in this particular center at MQA to remind ourselves that we are a single system of education. And therefore, our impact needs to go beyond just the areas of our responsibility, to think of many of our country who depend on the work that we do for them to survive. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and privilege. I wish I could just spend the whole time just recognizing people, because for me, the 5 minutes of the speech means nothing if after I'm gone, work is not going to be done. The speech in 10 minutes must inspire people in their positions to go out there and do the best that they can to make this country work. If that happens, that means I have done my job. And therefore, those who are in leadership, CEOs that are present, our biggest responsibility, when you wake up in the morning, your task is human capital development. And that is really important, because the most important resource of our country is its people. So if we are going to develop, in fact, may I just refer you to the preamble of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa that says, free the potential of each person. In other words, and that is just for us in the sector. When you wake up in the morning, your task is to free the potential of others. And in this industry, free the potential of those workers, free the potential of the NEET, those who are not in education, in any training, and any employment. Esteemed industry partners present, representatives of the Waterberg College, the officials of the department, and some of them are here, and some might not be here. Some, because we have to do lots of work in Cape Town this afternoon, already have been asked to go to Cape Town. The DG Zungu, DDG Valo, DDG Sotikwa, they are in Cape Town. I recognize them for the work that they continue to do. Our captains of industries, that includes vice chancellors of all of our 26 public universities, of which 51% of those universities are in the top 500 best universities in the world. That is the power of education in South Africa. When we talk about education in our country, we're not just talking about a few issues that gets the attention of journalists in the media, but we are talking about a country that has a potential for research that is recognized across the entire world. But principals of our colleges, when we talk about one college, this is the principal of Waterberg College, but how many campuses is she responsible? 4 campuses, which means if you go to just one campus of a TVET college, you will realize that its size and magnitude, the scope of work that they are doing, touches the lives of hundreds, if not thousands, of people directly or indirectly. And so in this sector where we are, the training and development sector, education and training sector, we are the heartland of, or the heartbeat, of the spirit of what it is to be a South African. Naledi Pandor at some point, the former minister of international cooperation and the former minister of education, was asked to define what it is to be a South African. What is the characteristic that distinguishes us from any other person? And she said, It is this ability to rise to the occasion whenever there are difficulties and excel beyond the imagination of everybody. When the whole world is quiet, when on daily basis a people somewhere in Gaza are being killed, maimed, destroyed, every day this is happening. You know, a small little country in the southern part of Africa raises its hand and says, it can't be, and take Israel to the International Court of Justice to say, you shall account for what you are doing. Notwithstanding the fact that we are one of the smallest and the youngest democracies. Sometimes we punch beyond our weight, but it's all the time in pursuance of human rights and democracy, in pursuance of the values of Nelson Mandela, one of the founding fathers of a beautiful country that you serve, a beautiful country that you are responsible for, its people. It's a tremendous honor for me to address you today at this important occasion, the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding to establish a mining center of specialization, the first of its kind, and I must mention the first. And that makes this occasion a no ordinary occasion, an important occasion that I could not miss. In fact, I have invited the special advisor to the minister to say, please join us even if you are late. I know he's tasked to be speaking somewhere at the university that is invited an interesting character. He is going to join us immediately. If he doesn't, he would have really expressed the interest, which therefore means me and a few officials that are here from the department are representing a lot of people who would have loved to come and honor you for the work that you do. What is special about what we are doing today is the partnership, is the fact that we have recognized that the work that we do is only going to make a better and bigger impact if we manage to create platform and or broaden the platform to allow more of our entities to participate, so that we make a bigger impact, so that we touch more lives, so that we are more economic with the resources that are at our disposal. We eliminate duplication, we eliminate wastage, because we are working together. We can see if actually those resources can be moved to prioritize certain areas. This is a pilot, which means we are hoping that the success of this program is going to be scaled up so that it becomes and it touches the entire population of the Republic of South Africa. So partnerships that we are talking about signal our collective commitment to investing in the skills that will build the future of South Africa's mining sector, a sector that remains a critical pillar of the economy of South Africa. It is really important. There's always a difficulty when we talk about economy in education, because education is bigger than the economy. It's more important than the economy. But we will not reach that future that we envisage if we die of hunger today. And that's why the economy becomes an important equation. But we don't teach and train people so that they participate in the economy. We train people so that they become useful citizens of their own country, which therefore means economy being one of them. That is why if you've got an unemployment of 41% in the country, you still have a stable democracy. Because graduates of our institutions, besides the qualifications that they hold, in addition to those qualifications, There's a set of values that they acquire that make them to respect women and children, the vulnerable people, to respect the property of other people. Even though I'm hungry and I don't have anything to eat, but I'm not going to take from someone else their own. Because the values of education keep society together beyond just the qualifications you receive at your graduation ceremony. So your task of being part and parcel of this sector goes beyond the mining qualifications and skills you develop, but it is developing the people, those who graduate when they go home and they've been absent because you took them away from those communities. When they go there, there must be fathers and mothers and citizens that help to propel this mighty country called South Africa to become better each day and to realize its fullest potential. The Centers of Specialization program was designed to directly respond to the demand for priority skills that are needed for economic growth. Through the focused partnership between industry and colleges, we are building a new model of collaboration. I think the thread of what I'm going to say, if you forget anything that I would have said, remember collaboration, remember partnership, remember seamlessness, working seamlessly with one another so that we make a bigger impact. A small little stone thrown in a pool of water so that no matter how small the stone, but you start seeing the waves in the pool touching the entire volume of water that is here. That's what we are here about. We are here with little resources that we have and influence. Maybe your influence is not big enough in your portfolio, believe you me. Without that contribution, we will not reach the potential that we have as a country. So we need each and every one of us. We need many of our friends in the sector, our colleagues, our colleagues in the sector. So today's signing is more than just a formality of putting a signature in a document, but it is a covenant, it is a commitment, a pledge that our department and this sector of Education and Training Authority, MQA, the industry and education institutions, including Waterberg College, all of us, we are working hand in hand to try and on a daily basis, each day, take the next step towards ensuring that we touch another life. We touch another set of people that might have waited for an RDP house since the advent of our democracy. But we want to say to them, you were 60,000 of you at some point, now you are only 30,000 that do not have. Tomorrow we will have 10 more people with an RDP house or who have no job. Every day we wake up to do this, and we are inspired by this national flag, by the national anthem, by the diversity of our people in terms of race, in terms of color, in terms of region, in terms of the soccer teams they support, in terms of whatever in your eyes seems to make you different to the other person. We are united in that diversity. And I love it in our preamble, in our coat of arms, unity in diversity. Because that is what drives the agenda of change of South Africa. And each entity has a duty to make sure that this happens. And it's important that we start by saying that the job that you are doing, without it, without you waking up in the morning to come and do it, won't help us to get to the realization of the potential that we have as a country. So we need you, we need each and every one of you to play your role and your part in doing this. We are going to sign this document just for you, to inspire you so that you do more than what we have done to get us here today. I wish to express my deep appreciation to this industry and its partners, present and not present, led by the Mineral Council. Earlier on, I had a chance to speak to the colleagues here, and I said to Mr. Senior that, Mr. Senior, do me a favor, go to this industry and those that you are working with, tell them that we are patient with them. We will work with them. Those who are still, who don't see it the way we see it, we are coming, and we are not going to lose hope. We are not going to be tired of persuading people to come and put their hands on and help us push this difficult cut to move so that there is a realization of a better life for someone who might have just lost hope that they will ever get a job. But we are saying to them, wake up tomorrow, go look for a job, because we are going to be creating opportunities through the document that we are going to be signing today. I also wish to acknowledge the leadership shown by the college, Waterberg College. Principal, please speak to council, tell them that we see them. Tell them we see them, that the minister is not here today, she's out there, but we see you. We see what we are doing. Tell them that those who walk slowly, they must walk a little faster. Those who are not walking at all, and those who seem like they are actually not working, we still need them, even though we sometimes get fed up with people who are walking slow, when there is so much that needs to be done, but we still need them. I think that is really the essence of leadership, the essence of inspiring others to make their own contribution so that we become a better country. The geopolitics of our country are such that we need to pull together a little more. If you look at what the president is doing currently, walking from one country to the other, to pull the people of the SADC region together so that we are able to face the new geopolitical challenges of our country better, because we are more united. Because the strategy of those who want to keep us where we are for the rest of our life, to be consumers of their products and nothing more than just those consumers, and at the margins of access to resources of this world. Even though they've developed their countries through our raw materials and resources, they want to keep us to stay where we are. And we realize that if we want to extricate ourselves from where we are, we need to work together. But some of us have been discouraged by maybe some of our mistakes as well, in the way we've done certain things. Maybe in the way I have led as the DG, I've discouraged a couple of people. Today I'm saying we need them. We need to go and there is no one that we need. We need our trade unions. We need to work with the leadership of our trade unions and tell them that instead of going to the street and protest, come, let's sit together. Let's find a way of consolidating the gains of having worked together and isolate problems so that in the table where we are seated, we are all sitting on the same side and the problems are on the other side. The table is like that, and that's how it is shaped. Let us be clear that the success of the centers of specialization will depend on sustained collaboration, open communication, and relentless focus on excellence. South Africa do have smart people, and I keep telling the officials of the department, because you know, when you are mass-oriented, when you want to change the life of the masses, sometimes you neglect that amongst the people, there are also smart people. There are young people who are going to create a solution for HIV and AIDS, for all the problems of the world. And if we also, in the allocation of those scholarships and bursaries, have a component that is reserved for smart South Africans, so that they go out there and create a counter atom bomb, and that cannot be stupid, powerful, stupid, powerful and rich nations develop atom bombs, and they throw them to women and children, to people who are not at war, and destroy the environment and the ecosystem. And I've been to Japan recently, to Nagasaki and Hiroshima, to see the devastation caused by the atom bomb thrown to those people. And you look at what it takes to rebuild, you know, that country. It's really not worth it. It's not worth it. So we need smart people who are going to give us solutions that are not going to take us backwards, but solutions that are going to take us 100 years forward. Not some group of people or a select group of people, an elite. You know, people who are here, seated here, they are the middle class. And the middle class tend to circulate ideas amongst itself, and until it's boring to listen to one another, because anyone who speaks says the same thing that you've heard before. But the people we should actually be speaking about are those sitting outside, who you know, are not given the service of the dinner that you are enjoying in the table of the rich, in the table of the advantaged, in the table of the educated, but who are only mindful of their own interests and less the interests of the underdog. And that's the essence of what I wish to say to you. In closing, let me say that today's ceremony is not an end, but a beginning. It's a new chapter in our collaborative journey towards building a prosperous and inclusive South Africa. We must be passionate about South Africa. We must be passionate about singing the national anthem. We must be passionate about inspiring a fellow worker who didn't come to work yesterday for a flimsy reason, to say, no, we need you, come back, and without you, we are not going to get there. Let us work together to ensure that the Mining Center of Specialization becomes a model of success that we can replicate across other sectors. Thank you, and I look forward to witnessing the great achievements that will arise from this partnership. And this I say on behalf of our Minister and on behalf of the Cabinet of South Africa, on behalf of the entire education and training system in the Republic of South Africa. Thank you.
Gigi, thank you so much for those wise words. So but what we're going to do now is we're going to move into the signing ceremony. So I'm going to ask Doc to lead, but I'm going to ask the DG, the principal, and all those that are going to sign to come and sit here in the front. While the signatories are moving to the front, we're going to take a moment and just as something that the DG encouraged me on was to regard everyone else that we work with. Yeah, please come inside. DG, this side. Okay. Okay, DG, you'll sit here. Okay, we've got Josh. Josh, thank you so much for coming to work. Even though we know you're not supposed to come today, just to make this work. That's what the DG is encouraging us. And it's his birthday as well today, as well as Tobeka. So I'm going to ask for special thanks. So I'm looking for a pen. Oh, okay. So, let me just find the better pen. Then we'll sing for you guys at lunch, eh? Josh and Tobeka. Oh, you've got it. You've got it. Okay. Doc, you'll lead the process. Thank you.
There's a lot of science. Yes. Too much detail. And I'm gonna do this times 3. I think there must be an item of music. Yes. Will help. So I'm the slowest.
Copyright music. But it's picking up. It's not picking up anymore. This is copyright. No, copyright. Yeah, no copyright.
Interestingly, it was a transition from winter to autumn. So there was to spring. So before you don't have not yet the best, because I'm told I started with Japan in spring. So by 2 weeks. So we start on the video.
Oh, the witnesses.
Getting a break.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, sure. Please.
Yeah, so demand, yeah. Then let's
Okay, so and okay, yeah, last one. Yeah, so
Okay, thank you everyone. The signing of the MOU has been completed. So we're going to rearrange this space a little bit and then we're going to do the photographing session. Thank you. Just give us maybe 5 minutes.